Jeff Hardy has explained his controversial WWE house show exit and firing. Joey Janela has addressed the rumors that he's got heat in AEW, and we've got the reason that CM Punk wasn't on Dynamite, so stay tuned. Jeff Hardy has been chatting away to John Alba on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast, and it's a really, really interesting listen. I'd thoroughly recommend it. He gets into a bit of detail about his departure from WWE. He addressed the Survivor Series match where he was arguably like the hottest he's been in WWE since the Hardy Boys return at WrestleMania.
The fans loved him. I guess getting back in front of that crowd, Jeff Hardy's back. People love him.
Yeah, it was an awesome moment, and WWE, I feel, failed to capitalize on that. So he said the last glimmer of hope was Survivor Series, which is really good. It came down to me and Seth Rollins. I was killing it, almost won, and the crowd was so behind me. I felt like one of the most popular babyfaces in WWE because the crowd was so with me. Then there were other times when I felt like a ghost, roaming the halls like, why am I even here? I don't feel important. I kept doing my deal and would show up and do whatever they wanted me to do. I've never been a politicker, so I don't go out of my way to try and get a certain spot or achieve a certain status. And then he talks about that house show match. It was a 6-man tag where he teamed with Drew McIntyre and Xavier to take on the Bloodline. And as you'll remember, he exited through the crowd.
Yeah, it was a very strange scenario. We just saw the reports of it where it's like he takes a bump in the ring, rolls out, and just leaves.
He's gone.
He's gone.
And because it's Jeff Hardy and he has a pretty sort of troubled history and issues with substances, I think a lot of our minds immediately jump to the worst. It's very difficult not to jump to conclusions.
Especially with erratic behaviour such as that. There was no real explanation. I think WWE had the exact same idea. They were like, right, let's test them.
They certainly did. And obviously he was pretty quickly out the door as well. It sort of reminded me of Victory Road all those years ago. So he talked about this. That night in Texas, I finished my heat, took the heat, and I said, I'm ready to go. Went over the rail, disappeared into the crowd. Naturally, they think I took something, but I didn't. If I was that bad, I should have never went out there. That's the way I see it. I thought, just another unpredictable thing I can do and I'll get away with it. But it was more serious than that. Again, it was one of the smartest things I've ever done because everything worked out so perfectly. Mainly because my first day in AEW, I felt valuable for the very first time. The care and love that I was shown, I got chills thinking about it. In WWE, it felt like they wanted to keep me there to sell action figures. I put so much love and joy into painting my face. When I see it come out and immortalized in an action figure, I'm like, that's why I do this. It's so cool. And that's the one thing I'm super excited about in AEW. My first action figure with the face paint.
His iconic face paint. He's getting the thing he wants.
Yeah, that's right. It's very sweet. I mean, it sounds from what he's saying there more than ever that he sort of worked him a little bit. He said he could get away with it. He didn't, but he's happier now.
I wonder if he knew that would be the response that he'd get, was that they would just be like, look, get out the door. Go.
Yeah, it sounds like he didn't. It sounds like he was like, oh, this is no problem at all. But obviously WWE took it very seriously. And you know what? Good for him. If he's happier now, if he feels more values. And
I mean, like we mentioned last week, the reception he got, he's in a really great place. The fans love him. He's been fighting for No More Words to come back for years, and he finally got it. He's out the door. But the Hardy Boys theme, it's back. He's got his face paint. He's got his action figure. It's great.
Truly good for him. We move on. Joey Janela has just addressed those rumors that he's got heat in AEW. You will remember the match on AEW Dark taking on Eddie Kingston, hit him with a super kick, and lots of controversy and lots of reports circulating that he has heat backstage. He has just taken to Twitter saying, I also suffered a horrible concussion in that match, but no hard feelings. It ain't effing ballot. He means ballet. And I'm not a naughty word. Also, me and Eddie have absolutely zero heat over that mistake. Now, this follows Denise Salcedo's interview with him saying, with him saying that he's out the door. Basically,
yeah, he's not staying with AEW. So
which is, you know what, I think Joey Janela is an entertaining character. I think he's decent and everything, but it just sort of feels like he's fallen through the cracks a bit.
He came in with such, I guess, mystery about him as some indie talent that everyone is aware of, and they've heard of him in GCW and doing the Bloodsport events. And yeah, he had a great match with Omega on Dark very early on at AEW, and he's not done much because other people have just come in and get in front of the queue for him.
You've got these massive names coming in. And so, yeah, Joey Janela, lost in the shuffle a little bit. I feel like he's a bit of a Marmite wrestler in that you sort of love him or you hate him. And there's a lot of hate out for Joey Janela. Personally, I
Interesting
like
with the response to that tweet, Hangman Page said he accepts his apology for another injury that occurred to Hangman and says he'll see him down the road.
Oh, well, that's nice, isn't it? All the best of luck to Joey Janela. He's always been sound with me, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Sticking with AEW now, Revolution grossing over $8 million dues. This is from Meltzer. Based on the numbers we have from US television pay-per-view, the late buy numbers for the week were up about 14% from the same day on the original buy number. For streaming, the increase from same day numbers was estimated at 15%. So healthy numbers there.
Decent numbers.
This makes it the second most successful show the company's put on behind All Out.
And All Out was massive.
All Out was massive. Revolution was an excellent pay-per-view, so I'm glad with that many people watching it. Fingers crossed they enjoyed it. Yeah. It did do well. And hell of a show. WrestleMania fast approaching. What are the plans for WWE's Battle Royals, Fraser Paul?
Well, there's an annual Battle Royal they've always got it on every year.
Two of them. One for the men, one for the women.
Andre the Giant and a nondescript legendary female wrestler. It looks like it's going to be on SmackDown show before WrestleMania Night 1. They did this last year, the men's one, I should say. They did last year, what was it, WrestleMania SmackDown, because they've got to get the branding in. WrestleMania something.
Yeah,
WrestleMania Backlash.
Tag titles as well on that show, I believe. If memory serves.
Yes, they did. It was
a few big matches. Get the crowd hyped for the pay-per-view itself. Sorry, the network event. What's it called?
It's a premium live event.
Premium live event. It'll stick.
They've got to own the term.
Absolutely. And so it looks like the women's battle royale is going to be on one of the days, possibly the pre-show, but
possibly.
We'll see. I think it'll probably end up on the pre-show.
Do we need another SmackDown that's a night of WrestleMania?
I feel like they could slot one per night on each pre-show. I think it's a nice way to warm up the crowd. You see some familiar faces, some nice fun moments, hopefully.
It felt like the match was to get people on the WrestleMania card, and now they've booted it off the WrestleMania card.
I still hope they get their payday.
I would hope so.
Because historically, you get a WrestleMania payday, so
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a WWE superstar yet. And we are finishing off. We are finishing off with the potential reason that CM Punk wasn't on this week's AEW Dynamite. Unfortunately, it's not very exciting. You know what? It's good. It's better than being injured or something. CM Punk filming the second season of the TV show Heels on Stars. Filming is over the next few weeks, and that's probably why he wasn't on the show.
Yeah, he's got a wee part in.
Have you watched it?
I tried watching the first episode, and I
buried. I tried.
Done. I've got so many shows I want to watch. I couldn't get back to it. It was good.
What are you watching, Fraser? What's taking priority?
Succession.
Never heard of it.
Rick and Morty.
Heard of it. I apparently look like one of the characters.
And what else was I watching? You at Netflix.
No, I've heard good things about that.
Yeah, it's good.
For me, old episodes of Crime Watch UK.
Yeah.
So take care of yourselves. That's it for the news today. I'll be back with Sam tomorrow. No WWE 2K22 playthrough tonight, but I am back 9 p.m. Saturday and Sunday evening. I'm going to wrap up the My Rise mode. Much appreciated. Fraser, any final words? Show them the mug.
Follow us on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
Adam loves it.
At Cultaholic.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can buy a framed signed photo of me, the one that I hit Andrew in the head with. He's actually Cultaholic on eBay. It's there. 250 quid already. Mental.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Worth it.
See ya.